Hello and welcome back to the GB Fantasy Football channel. Today's video, we're going to be looking at my wildcard team ahead of match day 3's deadline. It's big decisions all around, big changes of course. We're going to be targeting the teams that have still got a lot to play for and using a few of those differentials from yesterday's video. Today is a double upload, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you could like and subscribe to the channel. A little bit of effort's gone into it. These deadlines are a swift turnaround. They're not the easiest ones. The weekly stuff compared to every few days isn't the easiest, but here we are, getting the information out to you guys watching, and we'll see what can come of it. Do leave a comment down below as well as to how your competition is going and where you're currently ranked. I think I'm about 5,000th at the minute, 6,000th if I'm not mistaken. So decent, not too bad for a first time attempt. Hopefully with the wildcard in hand and a few more booster chips along the way, we can push up to a 3-digit finish. So let's crack on and see what this team is looking like. As I mentioned, this is the second video of the day. Earlier we had a under 5% differentials video, so please do go and check that one out. A few of them might be creeping up to that 5% mark. Those bonus points are becoming more and more difficult to find, but there's quite a few of them in that one, so go and have a look for yourselves and see if you can fit them into your teams. But here we have the wildcard team. Now it's a bit different. I've tried to go for mainly some big hitters. We're targeting the fixtures, we're targeting the teams that still have a lot to play for, and we're also targeting teams that are playing Auckland. So we've got Dortmund, we've got Real Madrid, we've got Boca Juniors, we've got PSG. All these big hitting teams that rotation risks aren't as much as the other ones. Teams like Man City playing Juventus, I'm just not going to go there. There's just no need. Chelsea winning and losing their game mean that this third fixture out of the group is essential to them for getting through, let alone winning the group. Then you've got other big hitters knocking around, but these are the teams that I will be targeting. So the team is as follows. We're going to be looking to the side for reference once again. We've got MATCHDAY in goal, Boca Juniors playing Auckland. Now I can't see too many attackers from that team, spoiler alert, for the forward positions. So I'm going to go with a double defence, and we have got Blanco. Now I do see Boca scoring goals similar to how Benfica did, similar to how Bayern Munich did, but I can't see him scoring as many. If I had to guess, I'd say 4 or 5, and the midfield options just aren't grabbing me. So for that reason, I'm going to hope for 9 points for the 2 defenders each, and then a haul from the striker position. We've also got Jai from Palmeiras. Barring a certain Lionel Messi, I don't see much attacking intent from that team. There was poor in the opening game against Al Ahly, and Palmeiras are yet to concede a goal. It also allows me to have a captaincy option in that game slot, time slot. Because all the games are combined this week, it's a lot harder to come by those captaincy shouts. So that one gives me a little bit extra. And then I've got Nuno Mendes from PSG. Now the leaked team sheet and the predicted lineups have got Hakimi starting on the bench, as well as one of my options in midfield. So this team is subject to change, but with Mendes being on the bench last game, I do see him starting. I've just mentioned the PSG lineup is predicted to be different to the players that I've got in this team. So I've got Kvaratskhelia. It took me a while to even get that close. So we've got Doué, we've got Elise of Bayern Munich, and we've got Pedro Neto of Chelsea. Now, Kvaratskhelia is predicted to not play this one. It's Barcolo and Giancarlo Ramos, I believe, playing up front. So this will be the big change ahead of the deadline if we do get to see those team sheets. If it's not the case, I think I will be shifting Kvaratskhelia to Barcolo, or I might even try and work a way around to get back, getting Ramos up front and then Palmer into midfield. But currently that is the midfield 4. I'm sticking with Elise despite many wildcarders moving him on. Kompany doesn't really rotate his team that much. They're going to be fighting Benfica for that top spot, and Elise personally I think has been player of the tournament so far. many attacking returns, even getting taken off at half-time against Auckland. He ran the show. And then we've got Pedro Neto, scored in both games so far. Palmer, flat to deceive, so Neto being nearly 3 million cheaper. Prime asset. And Due is predicted to start, and against Seattle Sounders, I can see PSG scoring quite a few goals. And up front, we have Guirassy of Borussia Dortmund, scored a fantastic header in their previous fixture. In this one, I can see him doing very well. They're playing Ulsan HD. They'll have to correct me on that one as well. Very good option. I think he's going to be in a lot of teams, even the teams that aren't wildcarding. He's certainly a player to target. Dortmund's still got a lot on the line, so he's a prime asset. We've then got Liam Delap. Still, currently, time of making this is under that 5% mark. Nicholas Jackson has been banned, sent off in the last fixture, horrible tackle, which means Delap is a guaranteed starter. I'd say 99% at least. He's got a lot to prove. Chelsea have got a fantastic fixture. They're playing, I can't remember the name, it's EST. And then we've got, who was it, Morentiel, Boca Juniors, playing Auckland. Now he is the one that I've got attacking wise, but I've got the double defence, got him up front. It was a doubt for this fixture, but he has been passed fit. The latest news says that at least. And it will be a captaincy shout for that little block of fixtures, definitely. Other than Harry Kane, people have feasted against Auckland points-wise. Di Maria, fantastic last week. Pavlidis, once again, fantastic against them. So to get as many attacking players, I think might be beneficial, but personally I will be opting for just the one. And the players on the bench that I've got rotating in, subbing in if needed, we've got Rossi in goal against LAFC. Flamengo, decent defensive options. I do feel like those Brazilian teams in this competition have done exceptionally well and exceeded a lot of people's expectations. There'd have been teams that we tried to target at the start of the tournament if you didn't know or didn't have background information towards them. Yet there's a lot of us that are steering clear and in fact bringing those kind of players, those options into our teams now, so it's nice to see. Then got Anton of Dortmund. I've had Bianci in my defence a lot for this tournament. I feel like at 5.3 million is a little bit too much now, so dropping that funds down $500,000 or so to Anton, still being under that 5% mark, is quite a good little substitution, that one. We've then got Levi Colwill, another player that is approaching that 5% mark. I did initially have a double Chelsea defence with Sanchez in goal, but he has since gone over that 5% mark, which makes him a little bit less of a wanted option in my eyes. The extra 2 bonus points really does tip the balance for certain players. So Colwill will come in. I think Chelsea have gone under the radar defensively. A lot of people go for that double attack, myself included, since the change. But I do feel like that Chelsea defence, bar the last game of course, is normally quite solid. And then we've got Jude Bellingham. Now, in my initial draft, I did have Kylian Mbappe. We've had no more new news on him. It seems like he's going to be involved in the fixture against Salzburg one way or another, but will he start? I'm not sure, especially with the fact that they might already be through. I think they've picked up, is it 4 points from the first 2 games? Would they risk him with the knockout stages coming up? I'm not quite sure, but I really did want a Real Madrid asset so I could have a player to captain in that last block of fixtures in case any of my other previous captaincy shouts don't get the 10-point mark limit that I set for him. So Bellingham scored in the last game. He's always got that attacking intent, late bursts into the box. As I said, preferably I'd have Mbappe up front, Palmer in midfield and work around some way. But currently I feel like this is the safer option. Unfortunately, Bellingham is nowhere near that 5% mark. It would be nice, wouldn't it? He picked up tackles in the last game. As I said, he got a goal as well, 10 points. It's what we saw from him in previous fantasy games for the Euros last summer. It's nice to have him in a fantasy game at least. As I said at the start of this tournament, I will be trying to focus mainly on the European teams rather than the Premier League ones, just because it's a bit of fun. And it's quite nice to have him in my team. So that makes the 15-man squad for match day 3. There it is. another booster chip played. We've still got the mystery chip that will be announced at the round of 16, and I've still got the max captaincy. Opted against using it in match day 2, and it was the correct decision, as Di Maria would have been the player that I picked anyway, and he came up with 17 points. So still 2 boosters to play. Round 5,000, 6,000th in the world, so not a bad rank. Hopefully with those boosters we can push back up. Just a nice respectable rank whilst having a bit of fun and waiting for FPL and Sun Dream Team would be nice. This team is subject to change. Hopefully the PSG news will come through, the team news that is, will come through fairly early, so there's no last minute deadline madness like there was for the start. No wasted deadlines either by bringing it forward an hour and not telling us. This is the kind of touch and go last minute stuff that we see on other fantasy games. But that is it. Hopefully not too much to change. Please do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. We are approaching that 50 subscriber mark, and there's still plenty more to come from this tournament alone, and of course the price reveals for the other fantasy games in the coming weeks. The socials are down in the description below. We've got TikTok, we've got X, we've got Instagram. Go check them out. Constantly posting on there. More up-to-date stuff than here, of course. Some good information. Just go check it out. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be seeing you in a new video very soon.